Welcome back to Choose Your Own Renovation, East Aurora edition of 234 Girard. Here to do a quick update on the results of all of our voting so that way you guys can know what color we're going to paint the house and what layout we're going to do. Before we get too far into that, our next episode is all going to be about the overall design theme of the house. So if you have a style of house that you like, put it in the comments. Maybe we'll throw it in there for voting and see if the public likes it. If you're a fan of farmhouse, arts and crafts because we're in East Aurora, modern, and when you're putting it in there, think about, kitchen cabinet colors. What type of island are we going to do? Flooring styles. Everything like that is going to have a big impact on the overall design theme. So put your favorite in the comments. Maybe we'll pull a few out and add it to our list of ones we're going to use. But let's get into our voting. Here are all of our colors. And ultimately, most of these didn't even matter. It came down to our two big heavyweight contenders, which were Urbane Bronze, this nice one down here in the lower left-hand corner, and Naval, right here, this dark blue. And at the end of the day, voting shut off at 5 o'clock on Friday. I went in, I checked it, one vote separated the two. It yo-yoed all day. And Urbane Bronze had 99 votes, and Naval was our winner with 100 votes. So don't let anyone tell you one vote doesn't matter. All right, so we're gonna paint the house Naval. Talked to the painter today. He has a quote for the exterior paint, all of the repair of the damaged portions, the gutters and the soffit and painting everything out. We're looking at probably about $8,000 to $9,000. So we're looking at our budget. We're gonna add that in. We'll start talking about the budget as well. Update on our second vote for the layouts. Layout 3 blew everything away. It wasn't even close. So we're gonna be doing that kitchen, relocating it, putting the peninsula in there, doing everything like that. And a little bit further on in this video, we're going to introduce you to the architect that we brought on board to help us design everything and get it all laid out. We'll go through all of that. We'll talk to one of the contractors that we're going to bring on board, and we'll get started. But thank you guys so much for your voting on the colors and the layouts. In the comments, give me your ideas for what kind of designs we should do. And if you get a chance, go to Cornerstone Coffee. I did not have time to go to Tim Hortons today. I went somewhere local on Elm Street here in East Aurora, and this stuff is phenomenal. I'm wide awake. This is really strong stuff, and I'm really wide awake. So let's go inside, let's talk to our architect and get started. All right, so we're back at Girard. We have our architects here, Crafted Concept, located right in East Aurora on Main Street. And we're gonna take them inside, show them the layout that you guys chose, and then let them explain to you exactly why you need to bring an architect in on a project like this, with the walls that we're moving and everything else. So let's go inside, show them the layout that you guys picked, and then we'll take it from there. All right, so we had 3 layouts, and if you watched any of the voting online, it was a runaway race and layout 3 won. The key components of layout 3 were the relocation of the kitchen, and instead of doing an island and eating up a lot of the middle space, we're gonna do a peninsula off the wall, because being a family home, we wanna be able to get a dining table in here. We're also gonna have a Jack and Jill kind of bathroom downstairs. And then upstairs, we didn't do much except for expand that half bath into a full bath. But the reason that I was told we needed an architect is because we're gonna be taking this wall out. You guys wanted to get rid of this, open it up, make it more modern. And with that, we've got to take into consideration the weight of the house, load bearing. I'm not good at math, so we called Crafted Concepts here in the village. This is the owner, so I'll let him introduce himself and kind of explain what they can do to help us.
Hi, I'm Phil Gusmano with Crafted Concepts Architects and Builders. We're located in East Aurora on Main Street, right across from Griffin Gastropub next to Subway. We've been there for about 3 years. We have both architecture, interior designers, and general contracting services in-house. So what's unique and nice about us is we're constantly dealing with the as-built on paper and how that translates all the way through the construction process. process. So we're very familiar with seeing houses and projects in these conditions. And I would say generally with any project that you do, planning is one of the most important steps, and your architect is your best resource to do so. In the long run, you know, we find a lot of times our services can save 10 to 15% on projects just on paper before people break ground, just because we're able to coordinate and think things through and also look at opportunities as well as interference and problems that may happen before they start costing money. You know, I would say the most important reason why you get an architect involved in a project is always life safety. Many people think the architect is here to be a designer, and we are, but the most important things is ensuring that we're permitting and stamping buildings that are safe for occupants beyond just the users that are going to live in them from that renovation. So when you're dealing with a structure like this, that's, Chris, when was this built? Do you have?
1960s-ish.
So 1960s, all right? So that's a lot of time for things to settle, for a water problem to become a disaster, for moisture to get in somewhere, for rodents and animals and termites and things. So you really need your architect to come in and inspect that structure and make sure that one, you know, the damage that's been done over time is understood, and two, when you start loading a structure differently than it's been loaded for the last 65 years, that you're gonna, you know how things are gonna settle and move appropriately with that. So that's really what we're here to do. And then on a higher level, you know, it's important to make sure that, yes, we're hitting all the aesthetic values, but we're hitting performance values. We need to make sure that we're getting our R value and insulation back into these walls, so we're not building something that's just gonna be tremendously, you know, expensive to upkeep on the month-to-month on bills. We want to make sure that the siding and the details of the flashing all come in, that when windows are being replaced, that they're being replaced properly. And so there's a lot of different details that go into the longevity of the house, which make a successful product beyond what it looks like just on the final finish day.
All right, so we're gonna take Phil around, kind of show him things. He mentioned a few things that I think are important to bring up. One, moisture issues. We already have to have Frank's basement out here. The basement was filled with water the other day when it was raining, so I've got Frank's coming in. We're gonna talk to you guys about that too. So if you have water issues in your basement, they'll be able to explain some things. If you guys watched the other video, you know there's a squirrel that's been living here. So he is very right about rodent intrusion and things like that. Haven't seen the squirrel lately, but I'm still worried that he's coming back. But a lot of modern design is centered around open space. The layout that you guys chose brought these two rooms together, and when these walls were built, it wasn't designed for an open space. It was meant for this wall right here to help carry some weight, and you guys want to get rid of it. So one of the key components that Phil's going to teach us is, what are we going to do with this wall? How do we get all of the weight that this wall is supporting sent out to the outside walls or down to the basement, so that when we're in here, nothing collapses. All right, so we'll give Phil a quick tour of the place. You guys come along with us, and then we'll get into some details. And like I said earlier, we are still working on the overall theme of the house. So in the comments, please, if you have a favorite theme, let us know. I'm thinking modern, I'm thinking farmhouse. East Aurora is known for arts and crafts, so we're gonna lean into that as a voting option. But I truly do not know all of them. So if there's a style that you really like and you feel strongly about, put it in the comments. We'll put it up for vote. Thanks.
See a lot of potential. It's definitely got good bones. I'll want to check out the basement, but generally speaking, you know, did the foundation look okay? I'll take a look at it.
So the foundation actually is in great shape. It just looks like the cinder block. Someone like poked a hole in one spot, and it was literally like shooting out like a little fountain. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna call it.
Yep.
And then I had Franks come in here and they looked at it and they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just.
And Tim, our structural engineer, we, you know, as architects.
Yeah, he was already here.
Yeah, we know a lot as architects, but I will always say we're architects, not structural engineers. Yep. When something hits our limit, we have, you know, the resources that we go to. Know what you know and know what you don't know. And yeah.